So first things first, when you're trying to print on a dark colored t-shirt, you're always going to want to start with lint rolling. And you want to make sure to lint roll towards you down the shirt because it'll go with the threads and just ensure a good print. So you're going to start with the lint roll wherever you're going to be putting your graphic. And then after you get that done, you're going to bring your shirt over to this booth over here where you're going to give it a spray with this white liquid. Not sure what it's called, but yeah. You want to make sure to give it a couple good sprays just to make sure there's enough. More is always better. If you don't put enough, then your graphic's not going to come out right. And then once that's good, gonna pull it off, and then with the wet side up that you just sprayed, you're gonna pull it around this platform right here with the bottom side going under. Then I usually kind of bring it up just to the collar right here, but it also depends on where your graphic is going to be. And then you'll pull one of these wax papers out from underneath, lay it down, and then you're going to want to give this heat press a good press down. You'll hear it click twice, and then it'll run its course for 30 seconds. And then once this comes up, you're going to want to make sure it's dry, and if it's still a little bit wet, you can just give it one more time.
Is it like a glue or something? Is
This?
it like a glue?
It's for the dark colored t-shirts. I'm not sure what it does, but it's necessary for anything that's dark colored. You won't have to do this with white t-shirts. You'll kind of just give it a press without any of the liquid just to make sure it's flat, and then straight to the printer. But this, it's some part of the process to be able to put white underneath because it prints a white layer first and then the color over it. But that's only for the dark shirts.
So it wasn't dry?
Yeah, it was just still a little bit damp. I always just give it 2 just to be safe. And so now it's pretty good. Yeah, it's dry now. And then you want to put that piece of paper away and then bring it over here to the printing machine. I have the large platform here. Okay, great. And then this part's super important because if you look on the computer screen, this entire box right here, the t-shirt isn't to scale. What you're printing on is this grid. So you have to make sure that your shirt is lined up with the grid because this grid is the exact same size as the box, this rectangle right here. And so try and make it centered. Oh, do we have a, yeah, let me go grab a tape measure. Let's see. Oh, there's basically 4 measurements that I look for. I usually start with these 2 on the side and make sure the collar's lined up. So this one looks like it's 4 1/4, and then this seam right here is also 4 1/4. And then the next thing I check are these sleeves right here, the distance from the frame, and you want to make sure that you don't stretch it at all just to get an accurate measurement. So this one looks like it's about 1 inch down, and then this other side is a little bit short, so I'm just going to lift it up. Be careful, and then just give it a slight push over. Make sure it's completely flat, and then remeasure. Okay, that's good. And make sure to always double check. So that's about 4, it's about 3. Okay. Great. And then you always need to make sure that it's completely flat. I usually try and give it like a push out, get all the excess fabric out. Okay. And then you can take it over to your computer, and you want to make sure it's under a dark color t-shirt right here, not black. Don't use black, and not light. This is for dark colors. So anything other than white or a light cream, you're gonna wanna use dark color. Even if it's a light colored t-shirt, you always wanna use this one. And then you're gonna open your file open, and then make sure that whatever file you're using is a PNG file so that it has no background. And then you can kind of select it and then size it to the scale that you want. And then make sure to keep note that each of these big squares right here is 1 inch. And so what I like to do, I usually have the collar right up to this edge right here, this steel edge, and I usually go about 2.5 inches down from the square if the collar is lined up to the actual frame. And so if you take that to the computer, it's going to be about 2.5 inches down right here. Since this is a smaller graphic, I'm just going to do 3. And then now you're going to have to go to the settings. I believe there's a chart over here for the dark colored and the white t-shirts, but for dark colored, it's going to be the print quality 3, Unidirection. White is going to be, I believe, 10. Do I have those right? Let's see, let me double check. Yeah, so Unidirection's 3, 10, and then reduce white area is 3. That's what I forgot. So this one is going to be 3. Okay, so basically what the reduced white area is doing is it makes an entire white layer underneath, and then it adds the color right on top. And then once you double check everything, you can just go ahead and press print. And then over here, it's gonna show, once this little blue light is flashing, then you are ready and you can just press print and it should go through. Okay, great. So while it's waiting, you want to make sure that this level is at 1.5. Yeah, so it's good. Make sure it's at 1.5. That's the perfect level inside. On the black, it should be at 1.5. Yeah. Let's see if this, and then make sure it's also tucked in flat. You don't want any bumps on it is going to send the print straight back, and it just won't print it. Okay, let's see. Maintenance require remove and shake white. Let's see. Just said to shake this? I don't know. I've never seen it tell me to do that. Okay. Okay, let's see if this works. All right, JoJo. I think something was wrong with my graphic, but that's it. But it printed like the pixels, which is kind of impressive. Yeah. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah. She might need some help.
All right, JoJo.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it came out.
That's nice.
All right. All right. The next step. So, gonna take this off, right? And then you're gonna take it. You want to be very careful with this, because any time you don't want it to fold, because the ink will bleed onto the rest of the shirt if it touches anything.
Oh, it's wet.
Yeah, it's wet. So you got to be careful. Hold it straight up, and then take it to the heat press right here. Yeah, I can let you watch that. All right, take it to the heat press. Make sure the ink doesn't touch anything. It will get on your clothes and permanently stain them. And then make sure the graphic's just on. And then I usually grab this thing,
No paper.
pull it down. No paper, not quite yet. And then you want to do this basically 3 times. So 3 seconds or sets of 30 seconds. And so after the first one goes off, I usually just set a timer for a minute. And yeah, I just want to make sure it bakes and cures for at least a minute 30. And so yeah, set my timer. And then after that, you can just check if it's dry, and if it's not, you can give it whatever extra time it needs. And yeah. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, after this, I'm gonna make sure it's dry and then just give it one more press with the sheet of wax paper. But this is for dark colored t-shirts only. It will change, like the height and stuff will change if you need to do like a hoodie or something thick with a thicker material. Also, 100% cotton. I've never used polyester or anything, but I'm pretty sure you want to stay away from that stuff. I don't think it'll print right. Okay, and then once your timer's up, pull it up. You can reuse the same piece that you did before. Just make sure if it's just to not use it, reuse it on different shirts, or else you could have some leakage onto different shirts. And then just give it a press, one final press, and yeah, simple as that. That's
Do you
it.
recommend beginners use like a white shirt?
Yeah, I would probably start with a white shirt. It's easier because you don't have to do the spray part, because that's just an extra step. And yeah, and if you'll notice that there's like it leaves like a little rectangle on it from where the heat press was. That'll just wash out. Like that's not permanent, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, that's it.
Sweet.
Pretty simple.
All right.